You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'.
What is going down? What is going down? This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, guess what? You come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is podcast episode number 437. Welcome to the show, guys. Back-to-back weeks. Proud to say that. I'm trying to stay on top of it, guys, and give you a show once a week. It's gonna be a battle because summer is here now, and I have two young kids, and now they'll be staying up strange hours. Especially my youngest, who's 5, and she doesn't care. She'll come in this room and she'll do whatever. So I'm trying to do these podcasts now, video format style. So I'm gonna see how that works. Hopefully, I can do that without too many interruptions with the kids, and hopefully we can make that a reality. But I will say it's going to be a test. I'll say that it will definitely be a test. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it out. I'm still battling this throat thing. Crazy story behind that. I had a strep throat infection. I was given medication and had to take it over 10 days, and it worked at first. It was working. Pain went away. And then for some reason, towards the end of the cycle, like around the 7th or 8th day, pain started coming back. I was like, yo, what's going on? Slowly coming back until it finally reached its peak today. And I was like, wow, it was just hurting so bad last night. I had to, set up an appointment and go in. And come to find out, my dumb ass, I didn't change up my toothbrush, right? I have an electric toothbrush. I didn't change the damn top of it. I did everything else, washed everything, sprayed everything down with disinfectant, all the things you do when you have viruses and stuff like that. The one thing I didn't do was change my goddamn toothbrush. And so that was the culprit. So I had to go and get prescribed another dose, a stronger dose, which I'm taking now. And so I'm still in pain right now, but not like I was, 8 to 10 hours ago. So hopefully in the next couple of days that will subside and that will be 100%. And I can finally get on with what I've been trying to do, which I have a shit ton of content to do, guys. I have a Dragon Ball channel I'm trying to focus on, this gaming channel I'm trying to focus on, and then I have another YouTube channel. So I got 3 YouTube channels that I'm trying to kind of do content for, and evenly kind of spread all that, and still try to find the time to play games, which I haven't had any. So I'm trying to find a perfect medium for that, and I'm doing some experimentation with how I, upload and how often I upload to try to find that sweet spot, right? So it's been a battle with that, but I think I've found a happy medium starting in June, and so that's what I'm pressing for. So yeah, also on the Dragon Ball channel, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, I decided instead of July, I'm going to push for June and start putting content out. It may start out by just once a week, but it will stay productive and it will stay vigilant throughout the rest of the year. So on that channel, you can check out around the 1st of June, 2nd of June. For the Dragon Ball channel, you can start seeing new content at least once a week over there, right? It will probably be some more spruced in. We got a lot of stuff coming out. We have the Dragon Ball DLC coming out at some point this summer. I don't know when. We should be getting an announcement at some point, and then I'll keep you guys posted on that for all my DBZ fans, all my Dragon Ball fans. So yeah, I'm trying to do all that there. So building a community over there, and then I have my gaming community here, which I'm trying to grow, which is, slow, but hopefully with some steady uploads and things of that nature, we can get some traction over here, right? And then I have another channel, Great Chin Shinobi, which has been monetized, and that was a channel that I fired on, and so I took that recipe and I'm going to use it for the other channels, and hopefully that will give me some results, okay? Because your boy's ultimate goal within the next couple of years is to be working strictly from home and just being a content guy, right? And just focus on the things that I love to do. That's the dream. And if you want to attain those dreams, one thing you got to do is you got to stay vigilant and you got to keep pushing. I mean, I think that's the recipe, guys, for success out here in this field. If you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to be a content creator, if you want to, do something in that realm, you got to stay consistent and you got to be patient and you got to keep doing it. So that's what I've learned from my other channel. And so, that's what you got to do. I took a lot of breaks on my other channels. I'll upload for a while, then I would stop for a while. And that is not the recipe. You got to stay consistent no matter what. Even if it's just once a week, twice a week, stay consistent with that. So that's what I'm doing. And now we're here. Now we're talking about, we're going to talk about some anime a little bit, which hasn't been a lot. And we're going to talk about Sony State of Play. We're going to talk about Resident Evil. I also have some stuff I want to, talk about what FABLE is concerned and what I'm going to be playing this week. Because I told myself I'm not going another week without playing any games. Okay, I refuse to do that. So I've downloaded a couple games and there's one game that I am going to buy. This is a AA game, but this is a game that I absolutely loved when I played the demo, and I'm going to talk about all that. But anyway, let's get on with my anime watch list. And that watch list right now has been the same thing from last week, which is Demons of the Shadow Realm. I really like this anime. It's, I think, 8 episodes out now, but the last 2, which are, I think, 7 and 8, are not dubbed. And I really want to watch them, but I started dub and I'm really liking the dubbed characters right now. So I don't want to switch. So I was waiting for, it seemed like forever to get episode 6. I was like, God damn, I kept checking. So Saturday it finally got updated. So we're going to be 2 episodes behind. And that sucks. You know what I mean? With that. So next time I think I'm just going to start watching more, undubbed anime because I get sick of waiting. Or if I'm just going to watch dub, I gotta wait until it's completely done. I think Sentenced to Be a Hero is finally done with that, so I'm gonna go push over there because I stopped watching that around episode 8, right? And so I just checked recently on that one, and it's all the episodes are out. I think 12 episodes right now, so I'll go finish that. So that's really what I'm gonna be watching. Up to this point as far as anime is concerned. There's a lot still over there on Crunchyroll, but I don't have time. I've been watching some Dragon Ball Kai too. Some Dragon Ball Z Kai, before I went to lay down. And when I go to bed, I've been watching that and really enjoying myself. I started that a while back, and I never got a chance to finish the Kai series. I wanted to check it out and see how they kind of circumvented all the episodes, and kind of trimmed all the fat. And I kind of want to finish that. I think I stopped watching that after the Frieza saga. And so I want to see what they do with the Cell and the Buu saga and how they, get to it. But so far, so good, man. I mean, they really get to it and streamlined it. I still like the original dubs, the original stuff. I still have those and I will always stand on those. But I also like what Kai has done and, how if you haven't watched Dragon Ball, if you're new to Dragon Ball Z, then, it's a perfect entry point to watch, and I think I want to say One Piece is doing something similar to this coming up with their revamping of the anime, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. And that's why I haven't been able to really watch it. I've watched like 400 episodes of that, guys, and it hasn't grabbed me. There have been moments, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't just, completely, swept me away like some of these other anime have, that especially the ones that are super long like Naruto or Dragon Ball has. But I know a lot of people who live and die by the anime, and I'm not hating. I'm just telling you guys, hopefully the new rendition will do something for me. But anyway, that's my anime watch list right now. But if you haven't seen Demons of the Shadow Realm, man, I highly recommend it, man. It's from the people who actually did Full Metal Alchemist, and I love Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Love it to death. Own the DVDs, and it's just a great anime. And this one here is nothing short of that, guys, so far. So I'm really digging these characters. I'm really digging the premise, and it's a really good anime. So I'm really excited about this one. But that's my anime watch. Let's move on down and let's get into some Sony State of Play, guys. Finally, we have a State of Play. June 2nd. June 2nd is Sony State of Play, and it's gonna be over an hour long. So I was like, when an hour long, that got me excited. I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman. I cannot wait to see what they're going to show us besides Wolverine, because they made it a point to say that Wolverine is definitely going to be heavily emphasized in this State of Play. And, this is one of the games that I said I was going to get, from like day one. And I think GTA is the only other one. And so I'm excited to see what they have to offer with this Wolverine game. And hopefully we get some great gameplay and some introduction into some of the, some of the things features that this game has to offer. And then really though, I'm really anxious to see what else they're going to give us, man. Are we going to get some updates on some other games, some first party titles that a lot of us Sony fans have been waiting for? So I'm really excited to see what they have to show us. And yeah, man, I'll definitely be giving you guys the rundown when we get that information. Okay. But yeah, that's Sony State of Play, man. And I don't know, I'm thinking of games that could be shown and that I'm looking for. And I really can't think of it. There's so many, guys. There's Phantom Blade Zero. That's one in particular that I'm looking forward to. And then I'm looking for Naughty Dog's new title. I forgot the name of it, Interstellar or something like that. I forgot the name, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that as well. So those are the two games I can think of at the top of my head, but there's another one that I really hope I get the chance to see. And this one I have seen nobody really talking about, but this one is Project Robot. Project Robot is from the devs who have done Shadows of the Colossus, which is my all-time favorite game, period. The Last Guardian, Eco, those games. Those are one of my favorite devs of all time. And anything that they make, I buy. If there's a collector's edition, I buy it. I support them wholeheartedly. I bought the collector's edition of The Last Guardian. And if there's going to be a collector's edition of this, I will be buying it. So really big fan of Gen Design, formerly known as Team Eco. And I love those guys. So I really want to see what they have. If it's been a couple years now. I think it's been almost 2 years, I think, since we've gotten anything from that first trailer. And so they've been working. I'm sure they've been working on it. So I need to know what's going on with this game. And I need a release window, please. 2026. I would love to see that. But if you ask me, I'd say more of a 2027 if I'm hopeful on that game. So we'll see. They've been working on it for a while now, though. So we'll see, even before they gave us that preview. So I want to say this game has at least been baking in the oven for, 4 years. Something like that. And if you know Gen Design, you know that they love baking their games, okay? It takes them quite some time. The Last Guardian took forever, and I thought it would never come out, but it did, and I loved it. So we will see. We will definitely see. But those are the games I'm looking forward to off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing some. I can almost guarantee I am. But those are the ones that come to mind, guys. So like I said, when it comes out and they show us and everything, I will definitely keep you posted and, have a breakdown of all the things that they did and what I liked, what I didn't like, and what was missing, all of that. So that's the State of Play info right there for you. Next on the list, guys, let's talk about Resident Evil. And Capcom has confirmed that we are going to be getting Resident Evil 0, and that is being confirmed by them. So I'm guessing a lot of people, from what I'm seeing on their posts, has been slated for somewhere around 2028, because you got to remember Code Veronica is definitely coming out first half of 2027. So I really love that these guys are doing this with the franchise. They know they have the golden goose, and they're actually using it. They're cashing in on it, and you should be remaking all these games for upgraded systems so that everybody can enjoy this stuff. Code Veronica is a highly anticipated one that a lot of people, including myself, can't wait to get their hands on, and that's probably the one that I've been waiting for the most. But I am definitely excited for Zero. I'm excited for all Resident Evil games for the most part, guys. Okay, outside of my boy Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, and then Requiem. And I still haven't had a chance to play that. That's another game that I'm going to have to buy this year and add to my list of games. So like I said, no time. And, when you're trying to watch the ducats, that's another thing. You can't just have everything. And I had to choose Crimson Desert or Resident Evil. And Crimson Desert, I went with that because I knew that would have more time, like hundreds more hours. But I definitely am feeling the Resident Evil. I'm getting that. I'm feeling that I need to play that right now. It's calling me now because every now and then you got to go to Resident Evil. You got to. And then they introduced a new mode, like a survival type of mode or whatever. So I love Leon, and so I'll definitely get to his story and I'll get to that. And I haven't even spoiled myself on the ending of that either. That's what's so crazy. I'm so surprised that I have not been spoiled with that. I have been actively trying to stay away from it, for sure. But if you really want to stay away from stuff, you can, for the most part. Yeah, there have been hiccups, but for the most part, if you stay away from it, you have a good chance to do it if you engulf yourself in something else. Of course, I was playing Crimson Desert at the time, and so it was nothing but Crimson Desert on. Once the algorithm picked it up, it was just okay, it took off, and so it drowned out the Resident Evil 9 stuff. So kudos to them for that, at least. Okay, now we're done with Resident Evil. Let's talk about FABLE, because there has been some news on FABLE. Some good news. And, because everybody was wondering, Xbox came out, Sony came out, and they both stated that, yo, look, we're doing our own thing. We're going back to exclusivity. Again, Sony has definitely put that on the table, and Microsoft has been talking about that as well. And Microsoft is at a place right now where they are kind of like in limbo, to the point where they're asking fans literally, what do you guys want? What do you guys think we should do? What direction should we go? And trying to give them some direction. Now, I don't know if this is just a ploy, just a tactic that they're using, or if this is really sincere and they really want to know and hear from people. And so I think most Xbox people will tell you that they want exclusivity. They want their games to stay on their platform. And so apparently Microsoft is looking into this and trying to do that, because Sony has definitely said, look, we're doing it. Okay. Now, we all know that Microsoft is not, or Xbox is not going to outsell Sony. We know this, but Microsoft isn't worried about that. They're not worried about losing money in that sense, because they're Microsoft. That's not how they make their money, guys. That's completely a different sector. The gaming sector is just something over here to the side. If you know anything about Microsoft, you know that. But we'll see what happens, guys. They're going to stay around. They say they're not going anywhere, and that should make a lot of Xbox fans happy. And in a way, it makes me happy as well, because I had great times with Xbox. I do enjoy Game Pass at times, which I don't have now, but my son is out for summer and he keeps asking me, when am I going to get Game Pass? And I told him I was going to get it for at least 1 month this summer for him, because he really wants to play Subnautica 2. And so I'm going to grant him that wish. And I want to play Forza. Okay, I definitely want to try out Forza. So, we have some similarities there. So, probably June is when I'll take another stab at it and do it and jump back in there for a month and play the games that I want to play, and let him get his, stuff too. So, because right now he's playing a bunch of free games, and he's playing Pokemon. His friend gave him Pokemon for the Switch, so he's been playing that on my Switch, and then he's been playing his Pokemon on his DS as well. So he plays a lot of Pokemon. And then he plays, he has Elden Ring and Cyberpunk and some of these games. So he's doing other playthroughs of that as well, and games that he's bought. But other than that, summertime Game Pass. I think, it's a good time to have Game Pass for your kids in the summer, pay for that for a month or two, and then boom, I think that's a good deal. But anyway, that's that. But FABLE, yes, man, the news on that, they are coming still. They're still on schedule to drop in 2026. And I'm so happy about that, because, a lot of us thought, is it going to be pushed back? Is it going to be delayed? And apparently it's not. They confirmed that, this game is still on par. It's still on track. It's going to release in 2026. And for PS5 people who wanted to play it there, they said that it's not steering away from that. Even though I just discussed what Microsoft is trying to do or discussing, they want to go back to exclusivity. And I think they're going to be heading there, but they've already set certain plans in place. So the PS5 version of this game will come out. And so I'm going to play it on Game Pass when it comes out. And if I like it on Game Pass, I'm definitely going to buy it for PlayStation 5. Similar to Expedition 33 for me, so to have it physically, right? And so I'm really excited about FABLE. It's one of the games that I've been waiting on. It's one of the games that, when it comes to Xbox, if you had to ask me my favorite franchise on Xbox, FABLE is up there, because I had so many great memories with the other FABLE games when Xbox was in its heyday, back on the Xbox and the Xbox 360, those days. So, and I just love that world. I love that setting. I love the design. I love the way that world was built. And probably one of my favorite aesthetically, is as far as backdrops are concerned, I think even over the Japanese backdrop, which is really up there. So I think that's the only one that kind of trumps the Japanese kind of culture and the backdrop in a lot of their games and settings. But this one here, it's just something special about it. And I saw that in the previews and stuff. So I really, really want to play this game. Okay, so we're gonna get there, and hopefully we get to play it this year and I get to talk about it. So that's the news on FABLE. And finally, I want to talk a little bit before I get out of here on what I've been playing, or what I want to play. And I haven't been playing anything. Let me take that back a little bit. I have not been playing anything because I haven't had a chance, man. But I do want to get back out there in Crimson Desert. Okay, I do want to get out there. I played a little Dragon Ball Sparking Zero the day before yesterday, and I mean a little bit, like 15 minutes, man, before I went to bed. Because I'm just trying to get my feeling back in that. And the DLC, I don't think the DLC is coming until late summer, but I still want to get a feel for it because I'm excited for the update. I'm excited for the new characters and the new modes that they have. And I think I'll be playing a lot of that. and doing a lot of content on that for the Dragon Ball channel, of course, as well. So I think that's why I'm really excited, and I'm just rusty. I suck, man. I mean, I was never the best guy at that game. There's a lot of mechanics. There's a lot of different things that go into it, and I was just so out of whack. So I have to get back into that, and that's what I've been trying to work on. And then, you know, some things are going to change by the way the game plays when the stuff comes out. So I'm really just trying to get down to fundamentals of the game again. So especially defensively. So I'm just not out here getting cooked all the time and online or whatever. And I don't play a lot online anyway. I do a lot of single player, but the challenges are hard as hell. You want some challenges, this game offers that to you, okay? And I love that about the game as well. Testing your skills, testing, you know, all of that and putting it out there on the line. So I'm really trying to learn and relearn the fundamental. And that's going to take some time. So I'm going to try to play a little bit every day or every other day, so that I just don't lose my touch. You know, that's really what it's about. Ten Shinhan, we getting back out here. When Mercenary Tao gets here, we definitely putting a team together. Okay. And I cannot wait. You know, I have two teams right now I'm kind of looking at. I got Piccolo and Future Gohan, and then I have my Tien, and it will be Mercenary Tao when he drops. And who else? I mean, there's some other characters that I really like in the game. Frieza, I'm a big Frieza fan. You guys know that. Frieza's one of my all-time favorites. He's my favorite villain in anime, period. Love him. Matter of fact, I just pre-ordered. I haven't bought anything collectible in a while, but I was on Big Bad Toy Store, man, and you know, I have a golden Frieza, and my wife bought me that for like, man, my birthday like some years ago, and really loved that one, SH Figure Arts. And then I really wanted a, you know, Final Form Frieza, and they kept putting them out, but I kept saying, you know what, just hold on, because they said they were making another one, and it wasn't going to break the bank either, because for golden Frieza, I think it was like $75. It was like $75 for that. And so this one is only like 40, really under 40, like 37. And it's got the updated body style and everything like that. So I'm really excited for this one to add him to the collection. And so, yeah, I pre-ordered that the other night, and I don't think that's coming out until like November or something, probably more so closer to Christmas. They always tell you a date, and it's usually a month after that, you know, when they get them in. So it is what it is, but really anxious for that one. And yeah, there's some other ones that, you know, I really wish they would make, some other characters, you know, but that's a whole nother discussion, and I'll probably end up doing a video on that on the Dragon Ball channel. But anyway, I'm a collector. I'm a small collector, and you know, if you guys check out my Dragon Ball channel, I haven't done a video on it yet, but I'm going to do a video on my Dragon Ball collection, my small modest Dragon Ball collection. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on it. So I want you guys to check it out. I'll keep you posted. But if you haven't subscribed to the Dragon Ball channel, it's called DBD247, aka Dragon Ball Drip 24/7. Check that channel out. Subscribe to that channel if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, please. Okay, I'm going to be reacting to a lot of stuff over there. I'm going to be just doing content on the upcoming games. We have Xenoverse 3 eventually coming out in 2027, so really going to be big when that drops. And then Sparking Zero, and then just Dragon Ball discussions in general. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, Super, whatever, and we also have that to discuss because that's coming back. So there's lots of stuff coming down the pipeline when it comes to Dragon Ball, and if you haven't subscribed over there, you should definitely do that. Anyway, a game I want to play, then I think I'm going to press play on, because I didn't even know this came out until recently. I played the demo of this game months ago. Absolutely love this demo. The game goes by the name of Dead as Disco. This game here, it's a third person beat 'em up, but it's got music involved. So the music has beats per minute, which is the tempo of the song, and you literally beat people's asses to the beat of the song, if that makes sense. It's just so addictive. It's so fun. And I remember playing the demo and just running through the demo and just like playing it over and over and over again, because once you get to a certain part, it's done. And I just kept playing it over and over again, and it was just so addicting. And I was like, man, I need to know when this game is coming out. When is this coming out? And it's finally out. It came out May 5th or 6th, right? And it came out on early access. And so I'm going to buy it this week. I'm going to probably buy it tonight, and I might play it tonight or tomorrow. And so, but I got it on the Steam Deck, right? And it's not available. It's coming to consoles, but it's not out yet, and they don't have a date yet on the consoles. And guys, I want to reiterate something. This is why I bought the Steam Deck. This is the whole reason why I bought it, because I was at a crossroads. I was going to do the Switch 2 at first, right? And then I just kept doing my research, and I said, okay, what kind of player am I right now, right? I already have a Switch 1, and what is out there for the Switch 2? Other than the hype of just being the Switch 2. And that's all I really had. I mean, you had Donkey Kong, but that wasn't a system seller for me. And so I said, guys, there's no reason. And I did research on the Steam Deck and PC gaming and just the Steam community in general, and really liked what I saw. There's some pluses over there. And I'm not trying to play AAA games and get into all that. That's just too much for me, spending wise. I don't want to invest that much money over there. I love my consoles. I'm a console gamer through and through, and that's not going to change. But there have been a lot of games that I saw over the years, and it would be like indie games, just fun games, right? And I'm like, yo, I really would like to play this. And I tried to find it on my consoles, and it was like, it's not available here. Only available on Steam. And I was like, what? So I finally said, you know what? Enough of that. Let me go over here and let me go ahead and go with the Steam Deck. And then it also allowed me to play my retro stuff. So I could do a lot of my retro stuff over there as well. So that's why I did it. And it hasn't disappointed. I played lots of demos that you could not play anywhere else except for Steam. And I had a chance to play these. I had a chance to play a lot of these games, and you're not going to get them all everywhere else. So that's what I appreciate from Steam. And there's a lot of indie developers over there, and I'm a huge fan of a lot of indie games because they make a lot of stuff that just, you wonder how they come up with these ideas. It's crazy. It's just crazy. There's this other game of this. There's this like wind up taxi car. It's like this little bitty taxi car. It's like Taxi Go or Taxi something. I saved it, and it's on sale right now. I think for another few weeks, I think, and a couple of weeks at least. And I definitely wanted to get that one. I think it was a $20 game, but I think it's like $5 now. And so that's another game I really wanted to play. And it's just little games like this, guys, that you're not going to get anywhere else, that are awesome games, and you can play them for hours. I don't care. To me, AAA games are cool, don't get me wrong, but I spend a lot of time playing indie games, hours and hours and hours on indie games, guys. It's just as much fun for me personally. And so that's why I kind of went the Steam Deck route, and I'm glad that I did. And so Dead as Disco is out, and I want to play this game so bad, and I want to unlock all the moves and the songs. And this game also allows you to import your own songs in this game, and you can set your songs up in there, and you can actually play the game to some of your favorite songs. So that's dope as well. And that's something that creates longevity with the game, because you could say, oh, well, I'll eventually get to that point where I'm putting these games in here and putting these songs in here, and I'm creating a playlist, and then boom, I'm fighting to lo-fi, or I'm fighting to R&B music. That's crazy. Beating somebody's ass to like to a Chris Brown song, no pun intended, is crazy work. Okay, so really looking forward to that. And yeah, man, I mean, these are the things you get. These are the perks, I guess, over there on Steam for PC players. And like I said, I bought the Steam Deck to kind of dip my toe into that ecosystem because I wanted to play those indie games. I'm not a AAA guy over there because they're, in my opinion, it's hit or miss from my experience with that over there. So let me give you an example. You may have the top tier computer. You have whatever you have that is the best of the best. You have that PC, and then there's a game that comes out that's not even a AAA game. It may be a AA game or something like that. And you're like, oh, cool. I'll buy it, and you buy the game, and then it has fucking issues playing that damn game. Right? For some reason, it just doesn't mesh. It just doesn't work. Or you try to get another game, a third-party game, that's coming to PC, and maybe a Final Fantasy or something like that, and you put that in and you try to play that shit, and it just doesn't play well, right? And you have the best shit. And so I do my research, and I'm just like, yo, I'm just not ready for all of that. I like the simplicity of being able to put the game in and have it play. I'm not a stickler for 120 frames, even 60 frames sometimes. I'm cool. My eyes aren't spoiled, if you will, on that aspect. It's just not. So I'm cool with my consoles, guys, and we get our exclusives over here as well. So I'm not even worried about that. Now there are some exceptions, like for instance, one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch, really my favorite game, believe it or not, on the Switch. And there's some awesome games on the Switch One. There's Astral Chain, which is up there for me, but it's not my favorite. My favorite game on the Switch, most people don't even know this game, have heard of it. It's Daemon X Machina. It's a mech game, right? And a lot of people don't know about this game, but the ones who know. If you're into mechs like me, you know. But this game is on Steam, and I got it on a sale. And on the Switch, of course, the Switch version is, choppy. It's 30 frames when it wants to be. And sometimes, you have depending on what you're doing on the screen or whatever, you'll have some slowdowns or whatever. You might see 20, 24 frames at certain points. But they had it for the Switch. I mean, they had it for Steam. And I said, oh, if they have it for Steam, I'll buy it because I would love to play this in its premium form. And so it runs at 60 easily, like butter now, on the Steam Deck. So I bought it for that. So, little things like that, when you can find certain games and you can get them on Steam, and the Steam Deck can handle it, that's cool. And Steam can pretty much handle, most of these indie titles with ease over there. And then, like I said, they have a whole nother ecosystem of games that you'll never see on any other console. So that's why I bought the Steam Deck, and it's perfect for that. And it's multi-purpose too. So you can play it in the handheld mode. You can hook it up and play it on your monitor or your TV. So I'm going to hook it up to my 50-inch here probably tonight, and I'll be playing it there. So, there's pluses to it. So I don't know, man, if you're on the fence and you don't know you have a little something to spend and you're thinking about a Switch or whatever, you might want to wait. For me, I might end up having to buy one anyway for Christmas because my son, he's probably going to want that. So we'll have one in the house, and I won't need one personally for myself. If I get him a Switch too, I won't need it because it's not a I must have system right now for me. Where's the Mario games? Where are the Zeldas? Where are the games that most Nintendo fans want to see? These are the games that they want to see, and Nintendo's kind of, they're kind of dangling that carrot right now. Now, Donkey Kong wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. For what I saw, it looked very fun. And it serves its purpose, but most people want to see that Zelda, that new Zelda. They want to see that new Mario. I would love to see like a dark, gritty Zelda game. You know what I mean? Like a really dark Zelda game, like the Twilight Princess, but just squared. Bloody, if you will. And so these are the games that, I want Nintendo the Switch to do, and I haven't seen yet. And we probably won't see for a while because they're focused on a lot of third-party shit, which, hey, they're going to get their money. But it may be years before we see anything from the Switch to that a lot of us been wanting to see. But that's just my opinion. It is what it is. But anyway, guys, that's all I have right now. That's going to be the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for watching, downloading, streaming. However you listen to your podcast, guys, I want to say thank you. And please forgive my voice because it does sound trashy as well. But, that it is what it is. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to get out of here, I guess. I want to thank everybody again. I want to tell everybody I love you dearly. Thank you for sticking with me, supporting me through the ups and downs, through the slow uploads and all of that. And your boy ain't going nowhere. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Also, I'll say this one last time. Go check out the Dragon Ball channel if you're a fan of Dragon Ball. DBD247. Check it out. And yeah, I'm out. I'll see you guys next week. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.